who's senior judicial analyst and host of the Liberty File on Fox Nation. Thank you for coming back to join us again on this show. What's the bottom line? Can they do that? Is it legal?
Well, the federal government certainly can't do it because the federal government is not charged with public health or public safety. That's an area, Melissa, that is reserved by the 10th Amendment to the Constitution for the states. So part of what Mrs. Pelosi said is true. The federal government can recommend it. Its scientific arm, the CDC, can recommend it, but it can't be compelled. The federal government does control the power of the purse. So they could offer money to the states with strings attached that the states would require people to wear masks in public. Then that brings us to whether the states have the authority to do that. And the answer again is no. If a person is known to be contagious, the state could require that person to be quarantined or wear a mask. But anything short of that, the state cannot interfere with that person's freedom of movement or freedom to wear or not to wear a mask. So the government's authority is really rather limited here, no matter how aggressive the pandemic may become.
But how is it possible that there can be a law that requires you to wear a seatbelt but not a mask? To me, it seems like kind of a similar thing.
A good question. Well, when you're driving a car, you're on a government property, and the government can condition your operation of your vehicle because it's a deadly weapon if improperly used for you or somebody else when you're on government property. So let me modify slightly what I just said. The federal government could compel wearing masks on federal property, a military facility, the post office, government buildings. And the state government could compel wearing masks on state property, the DMV, state colleges, things like that. But on property that the government doesn't own, the feds have no authority to compel wearing the masks, and the states can only compel it when people are sick.
So you can tell where I'm going to go from here. Couldn't the mayor say that we have to wear face masks on the sidewalk? I mean, couldn't we, if you're out in a public space, you have to have a mask on?
Well, they do not have the authority to order that. Now, public pressure, peer pressure, people pointing at you, yelling at you, telling you to go take a hike or put your mask on, the force of public opinion may do what the law cannot do. And since masks have been shown to prevent the spread of this disease, then the force of public opinion is a good thing. But in terms of police stopping you on the street or giving you a summons or a court imposing a fine, absolutely not. First of all, these mayors and gubernatorial edicts are just suggestions. They're not the law. They have not been enacted by, in the case of New York City, the city council, or in the case of New York State, the state legislature.
Interesting. Judge Andrew Napolitano, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.